Today we're going to talk about VeChain, a cryptocurrency that looks like it is on the brink of a potential 40% rally. So I'll show you exactly what the market has to do to achieve that, as well as some targets to keep in mind. And we're also going to take a look at VeChain against Bitcoin and Ethereum to see which is likely to outperform over the coming weeks. Now, if you guys do enjoy this content at any point in the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to get notifications because I am releasing these videos every day, Monday through Friday. And lastly, none of the content in this video or any video is ever financial advice because it is just my opinion. So with all that said, let's take a look at the VeChain weekly time frame. So for those of you who are following me on Twitter and Daily Price Action members back in 2020, you will remember this from this period here. We were buying this, or at least I was buying this below a penny, and I averaged throughout this dip as well. So my average rate was somewhere just above a penny, and I got out a lot of this position above 20 cents and the rest through this period. Okay, so my average exit was right around 11 or 12 cents, which really wasn't ideal considering the market ran all the way up to 28 cents. However, considering that I made over 1,000% gain on this in less than a year, I will take that any day. Now let's take a look at this trend line from 2018 because this is going to set the stage for everything we talk about today. So the setup we're about to talk about is going to hinge on this trend line. All right. So you have to take everything we talk about today with a grain of salt in relation to where the market is here in the big picture. So going back here to 2018, you can see where VET was trading below this trend line throughout the crypto bear market. So it even formed this sort of inverse head and shoulders here during the bear market. And then we finally got that breakout from this trend line here. And this is when VET really went parabolic up toward 28 cents. Now, recently the market did break back below this trend line. So if we look here at the weekly time frame and move in, you can see where back here earlier this year, VET did close below this trend line on a weekly closing basis. Okay, so it's below it on the weekly and monthly chart. So this is going to be significant. In order for VET to move significantly higher this year, I'm talking back toward 10 cents and higher, it is going to have to get back above this trend line. So this is what I mean by this trend line is going to be significant in terms of the overall context of the market. Now you can see where VET tried to get back above this trend line here, but failed to do it because this area was serving as resistance. Now let's go ahead and talk about today's setup. All right. This is where I think that we could be on the brink of a potential 40% rally for VET if it can clear a certain level. And when we're talking about a rally like this, what I'm really talking about is a relief rally from the market, because at the moment, there is no denying that it is in a downtrend. And again, it is below that 2018 trend line. So this is not a situation where I'm calling for a new bull market from cryptos, although who knows, it could happen. This isn't a case where I'm calling for that. I'm not talking about a 2,000 or 3,000% rally here from VeChain. But I do think we could get a 40% move back toward the 7 cent area if VET can get above this area right around 5 cents. So if we look here at the daily time frame, you can see that we have this descending channel that's formed here over the past few months. So this level has served as resistance several times, and it is doing so once again today. Now on the support area down here, you can see where we have two lows off of that channel support as well. And furthermore, this area right around 4.5 cents has served as support here over the past few months. So like a lot of cryptos we've looked at here recently, including Ethereum, the market is kind of getting to a point where it's going to have to make a decision here over the coming days because it's starting to reach the apex of a terminal pattern. We have channel resistance here, and we have this horizontal support area right around 4.5 cents. So the setup I'm looking for right now for VET is going to be a daily close above this 5 cent area. So essentially today's high where the market got rejected today, if we see a daily close up here, it would flip this level to support, and we're then looking at a potential move up toward that 7 cent area, which is the 2018 trend line. And you can also see how this horizontal level served as support back here. Support once again, the market broke down and it became resistance. So from 5 cents to 7 cents, it may not sound like a lot, but that is a 40% rally. So in my opinion, it's very worth the wait for VET to get above that 5 cent area. Now, alternatively, of course, if we saw VET take out this area down here around 4 cents, all right, so close below this area, then we are probably looking at a move back down here toward the 3.5 cent region. And that's all because of the price action back here. So if we look back here in early 2021, you can see where 3.5 cents served as resistance. The market closed above this area and it got flipped to support. So 3.5 is going to be the next significant key level if we see VET get below 4.5 cents on a daily closing basis. So as of right now, the market is still kind of trapped in this consolidation zone, below resistance, above support. And you can see here on the 4-hour time frame how the market did get rejected from that level today. Okay, so until we see VET close up here above that 5 cent area, this setup is not confirmed yet. But again, I do think once we get it, there is a very good chance that we see VET rally significantly higher, potentially not only back toward this high here, okay, although that will be resistance on the way up, but also that 7 cent confluence of resistance based on that 2018 trend line and that key horizontal. Now, I also want to take a look at VET against Bitcoin as well. So VeChain against Bitcoin, as well as Ethereum. So first up is Bitcoin. And what's interesting about this chart, so I mentioned this earlier, weeks ago actually, how this area right around 100 sats was likely to be support for the market. Okay, so sure enough, VET versus BTC came right into this area and bounced. Now, if we look at the daily time frame, there are several key levels in play here. First of all, you can see we have this larger descending channel that's almost formed this bull flag pattern, because notice how the market rallied back here, okay, and then we got consolidation into this channel, which does look like a potential bull flag. So the market is coming off of support down here, and it's currently testing a trend line, okay, a descending trend line off of this high from back here. So if we were to see the market break above this area, which is very close to doing today, then we could see a move back here toward this smaller channel up here. So somewhere right around maybe 130, 140 sats, get above that, and we are looking at a potential move up here toward the larger channel resistance. Okay, part of this bull flag pattern, potentially up here toward like 180 sats sometime in April. So based on this chart, I do think that VET has bottomed out against Bitcoin, especially if we start to see it break above some of these resistance levels. Now, looking at VeChain against Ethereum, and this is the chart that I really want to focus on, because we've looked at this before, and it is really, in my opinion, it's absolute art. You can see where the market has formed this broadening wedge here over the past few years, and it is very, very close to support. Okay, so it's coming down here into support. There's no confirmation that we are there just yet, but again, it is getting very, very close. I would say that from current levels, okay, unless it's already reached support, you're talking maybe another 5 to 10% lower before this market really starts to bottom out. Now, one other thing I want to look at, and I don't typically look at indicators, but the MACD here on the weekly has been incredibly significant over the past few years. So you can see that going all the way back here, every single time the MACD crosses over on the weekly, it's very, very clean, and we get a significant move higher from VeChain. Okay, so VeChain against Ethereum, we see that really start to outperform ETH. And lately, the market, the MACD has just kind of been sliding along down here, and we really haven't gotten that crossover. However, if you look at the last few days, this week actually, it is getting very, very close. So if I move this up so we can get a better view, because it really is difficult to see there. Okay, so you can see right here, we have a potential first green bar here on the histogram. Now, this week is not finished yet, so we don't know if this is going to hold up, but if it does, it is going to be the first green bar on the MACD histogram ever since back here in May. All right, now furthermore, if we move in, you can see where the MACD, all right, is starting to cross over. And once again, the week isn't finished, so we don't know if this is going to hold up. But if you'll notice back here, the MACD never really crossed over. We never got that crossover here from the MACD. And right now we are starting to get the first signs of the weekly MACD crossing over with this VET ETH chart. So if this starts to play out, then this kind of confirms or helps to confirm that VET ETH could be at a low. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. We'll see how the week closes out. But if that does set up and we do see this market start to move higher, then that could give us that extra confirmation that VET has bottomed against Ethereum. So again, looking at the daily time frame, this is your key support level down here. And from current levels, I would say, if the market has not bottomed yet, another 7 or 8% lower, and it's going to run into that multi-year trend line. So this is going to be critical support down here for VET ETH. But when you look at this chart, you look at the MACD on the weekly time frame, you look at VET against Bitcoin, and also even the VET against Tether chart, you start to see signs of VET bottoming out here. But with that said, okay, this is going to be key. Going back to VET USDT, what's going to be key is that close above the 5 cent area. Until we get that, the market is technically below resistance. Okay, so you have to be careful here because there is still a chance that we see the market come down here, test this area, potentially even break below it. So you have to stay a little bit cautious while the market is below 5 cents, but I do think a daily close above that level is going to trigger a potential 40% rally for VeChain. All right, so I hope that this content helped, and if it did, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon, and smash the like button. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.